It is time to call to order the January 20th, 2026 County Commission meeting. Welcome all of you here tonight and invite you back any opportunity that you might have to be with us. This time I introduce Commissioner Haskell Evans for our prayer and pledge and ask you to remember the family of Bob Carr, which ran 231 car sales and Sports World and did a lot for our community over the years. So remember his family, if you will. Please rise.
Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for coming out this evening. Let's pray. Holy and righteous Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. Thank you for all the many blessings of it. We thank you, Father, for this country we live in. We pray for our armed forces, our men and women that serve us, especially those on foreign fields. We ask that you protect them. Father, there's a lot that's amiss in our country. We ask you to forgive us for wrongs we've done and for wrongs that we've allowed. We pray, Father, that you heal our great nation, defend those that would seek to do it harm, protect our first responders in their line of duty. I pray, Father, for this assembly tonight. Pray for your guidance and wisdom on us as we conduct the business of our county. Father, help us put ourselves aside and our will, and help us all to represent our county as best we can in such a way that brings honor and glory to you. We pray, Father, for the many sick. We ask that you be with them and grant them a return to their health, if be your will. Pray, Father, your comfort on those that have lost loved ones, especially Mr. Carr and his family. Pray, Father, that you be with them and comfort them as only you can. Pray, Father, that you be with us now through the rest of this night. Guide us, protect us, forgive us. This is our prayer in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Evans. If you will, please press your panel to record your presence at tonight's meeting. We'll ask you tonight, if you will, when you get ready to speak, if you would push request to speak, and we're trying something a little bit new. When I recognize you on this panel, it turns your mic on, and that way everybody can hear you when you talk, but you have to request to speak, and then I have to hit this button. We're seeing if we can make that a little bit better.
23 present, 2 absent.
23 present, 2 absent. This time we'll have public comment period. At this time, Mr. Ken Young.
The Water Authority and Adenas operate the Academy Road step system serving 293 subdivision homes. Its drip area is underwater, literally and financially. Adenas quietly reached into the pockets of Wilson County taxpayers and took $863,000 to repair their failing system. How? By building a pipeline from this subdivision to LaGordo Elementary School grounds. No one on the school board or county commission voted to use school soils as a subdivision dumping ground. And please understand, I don't blame the school board or any of you. There is no shame in being conned by an expert in deception. There can be culpability, but only if those who tax the citizens and those who spent their money won't now act in the public interest. Now that this has been discovered, you have a duty to claw back the wealth illegitimately taken from the taxpayer. You have been good stewards of tax dollars, but can we agree that you do not have unrestrained and unaccountable taxing power? If citizens see their hard-earned money being pilfered and no one is held accountable, they will protest any level of taxation and object strongly to a rate increase. There is no such thing as a small tax or a small taxpayer, or corruption so small that it should not be rooted out and punished. Thousands of homeowners live in subdivisions similar to Academy. They are bitter and frustrated. If you allow this mischief to stand, it sends a message that civic affairs here are no different than in Minneapolis, where even after fraud is exposed, it is defended by friends with political power. In 2023, you obligated taxpayers. Our creditors now have legitimate claims on $58 million over 20 years. School expenditures must, too, be legitimate to be paid. I expect Mr. Jennings or an outside attorney to demand the illegitimate cost of this pipeline be returned to the taxpayer. $863,000 is no small sum. New school construction funding will be a hard sell if this pipeline scheme is not corrected. The solution is simple. I believe you only need to decide what board, what committee, or whether this commission initiates this action. Thank you, and I will take any question.
Thank you, Mr. Young. This will close public comment period since no one else signed up for the public comment time against the commission. We'll close that and we'll move to support from the steering committee. Commissioner Fields?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the steering committee met in regular session on Thursday, January the 8th in the upstairs conference room. A copy of those minutes are in your packet. I move that they be received and filed.
Any comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Adoption of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we do have a consent agenda. It's a resolution
go to the adoption of-
26-1-1.
Let's go to the adoption of the,
Take care of
let's
that
go
one,
to
or you
the,
want to make the amendment first?
let's go to the amendment first. Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include two items. First of all being moving one part-time judicial commissioner to full-time, and the second that we do the zoning, school board zone vote.
So what he's asking is that we move the elections and appointments up after special, before special recognition is what he would like to do with that, and then amend the agenda to add the judicial commissioner appointment, which was not on the agenda to begin with. That's what he's asking. I got a motion, a second. Any discussion? Anybody? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, we're good there. Now we're ready for consent agenda. Commissioner Fields.
Yes, consent agenda 26-1-1 is just a line item transfer in the trustee. I move that it be approved.
I got a motion, a second. Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Marlowe? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record.
23 and 2.
23 and 2, resolution passes. We have no special recognition at this time tonight, and so therefore we'll move to the elections and appointments. First one on the list there would be the notaries. Mr. Goodall, all the notaries in good shape? Is there a motion to approve the notaries? All in favor say aye. Aye. Industrial Development Board tonight, you have 3 members here that we are to look at. You are to elect 3 members to serve a 6-year term on the Industrial Development Board. I would like to recommend for your consideration Mr. John McDermott, Mr. Phil Smart, Mr. Ed James. Information about these candidates are in your packet. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. This time, I'll turn it over to Commissioner John Gentry for the Judicial Commissioner appointment.
Yes, we have one part-time, Anita Fox. She's been serving in the commission, the Judicial Commission office for a number of years now. And I make a motion that we approve her for full-time starting on the 28th of January for a 1-year term. And we have a second. Okay, thank you.
Got a motion and a second to take Ms. Anita Fox from part-time to full-time starting January the 28th. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let the record reflect it was unanimous. At this time now, it will move to the election of the school board member. Let me give you just a little bit of ground rules, if I can, for this. Tonight, we'll need first of all, I guess, I need to ask you, are you wanting to make that appointment tonight? Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second? Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. So I got 1 nay.
Who was that?
That nay was Tyler Chandler. Okay, so we will make the appointment tonight. So tonight we'll run as follows. We will go out of session to let the public speak. I have an agenda here of people that want to speak tonight. When you speak, you know, our goal is for you to have 3 minutes. We want you to make your will known to the commission. You may nominate 5 or 6 or 7 people from the commission, from the committee, from the public. They will not be voted on. Only the people that are nominated by the commission when we go to that session are the people that are voted on. So you may bring up a lot of different people, but only the people that are nominated by the commission when we go to that part of the election is voted on. You will speak, you'll have 3 minutes. Our ask is that you give the commission information that you want them to have. If someone else has already said what you're about to say, then you don't have to say that. It's not about how many people can get up and speak on a candidate's behalf. It's about giving the commission your thoughts, your will, so they can hear that before they go into session to do that. Once you get through with what your public comment, we'll go back into session, we'll open the floor up, and we'll take nominations. You will make nominations. You may nominate 2, 3, 4, ever how many you choose to do so. When nominations cease, then we'll let those nominated candidates speak to the commission. 5 minutes is what we'd ask them to do. They'll speak to the commission. Once they speak, then we'll vote. We are voting secret ballot. That is what the rules say. Everybody will know when it's over and the votes are posted who voted for who, but we go secret ballot. And it will take 13 votes to win the election. So if we go through the first vote and nobody gets 13, then we re-vote. We take the lowest number, lowest person that's had the lowest score off, and we start all over again. Any questions or comments from my commission about how we work? If not, I need a motion to go out of session. A second. All in favor say aye. Aye. And now at this time, we'll go through public comment period from the audience back there. Be sure and, if you will, just state your name and address for the record, and that's all you have to do. Now I'll let you speak. Leon Alligood is the first one.
Good evening. My name's Leon Alligood. I live at 3839 Mitchell Road in Lebanon, where I've lived for more than 35 years. My wife and I raised 2 sons who graduated from Wilson County Schools. I address you tonight in support of Larry Tomlinson's bid to be named school board member for Zone 5 to serve the roughly 7 months until the August election. I have known Larry for several decades. I found his previous service as a school board member for Zone 5 to be outstanding. He understands the purpose and the functions of the school board and has been a supporter of public education throughout his career. Larry represented us well on the school board, serving as chairman for a number of years. I voted for him every time his name appeared on the ballot because I had more than a measure of full confidence that he would work diligently to understand the issues facing public schools. I believe he would do so again in this limited role of serving until the general election on August 6th. Larry has stated, with emphasis I might add, that he will not be seeking to fill the remaining 2 years of this unexpired term. As a voter from Zone 5, I would prefer that the commission did not appoint anyone to this temporary post who is seeking to be on the county general election ballot in August. My reason is because of the power of incumbency that it gives to the candidates. Since 2010, according to the stats from the Wilson County Election Commission office, there have been 29 school board races. In those races, 20 of the incumbents won, 9 of them lost. Naming Larry as a placeholder, a more than adequate choice, would place all the candidates running in the county primary in May and the general election in August on a level playing field and would give voters the opportunity to vet them during the campaigning process. If we didn't have a capable candidate like Larry, who has served for many years on the school board, as an option, I wouldn't be up here speaking. But we do, and it makes sense to name him. This empty slot from Zone 5 is important to me and my neighbors. We want the best candidate, and Zone 5 voters should make that decision in the voting booth. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you. Ms. Becky Seaver.
Becky Seaver, at 413 5 Oaks Boulevard here in Lebanon. Mayor Hutto and County Commissioners, my name is Becky Seaver. I am a proud retired educator. I served as a teacher, then later as a principal for both Wilson County Schools and Lebanon Special School District. I was also a county commissioner for 8 years. I'm quite pleased that both of my children went through the Wilson County school system. I'm here tonight to share from my unique perspective as a commissioner and a school administrator about my experience in working with Larry Tomlinson. I served for 8 years on the Education Committee and often would see Mr. Tomlinson at our meetings, as well as the monthly commission meetings. He was committed to learning everything he could to help the schools. As a former commissioner himself, he was able to work with commissioners to accomplish many projects for Wilson County, that including building 5 new schools. As a school administrator, I understood how much the school board's support can affect all aspects of a school. I also felt supported by our school board during those days, and the teachers felt it too. Larry's leadership was a major factor in that support. Director Luttrell, sorry, Jeff, has publicly spoken out about the many important decisions that are coming up in the school system. Mr. Tomlinson has the experience, the wisdom, and the integrity to help. He can be a wise voice for our school through his experiences beginning on day one. His reputation is stellar. I have witnessed his leadership and his down-to-earth decision-making firsthand, and I've been wholly impressed by both. I know many of you in this room, and we worked hand in hand and did such wonderful things in Wilson County. I don't care for the local politics that are at play, but I have been in your shoes. Your decision should be based on experience and a proven track record, not what a particular party tells you to do. There is no place at all for partisan politics in locally held seats. In working with Mr. Tomlinson, I had no idea what party he was affiliated with, and that is what we want a representative for our school board to be. Long before candidates had to declare a party, we all worked together. We had our disagreements, but to my best recollection, being a Republican or a Democrat never played a part in our decision-making. My memory is that we tackled problems and did what was best for Wilson County. That is how it should be, and that is what I'm asking you to do. Please make your decision based on what is best for the county, the students, and the families, and vote to elect Larry Tomlinson as school board rep. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Seaver. Mr. Brad Lytle.
My name is Brad Lytle. I live at 1030 John Wright Road. First of all, I'm a Christ follower, a husband, a father, a grandfather of 13, and I'm grateful to be here to speak to you, and I thank you for this opportunity. We respect your offices and all you do. You have some tough choices to make in your daily, and you have some easy choices, and frankly, I thought this was going to be an easy choice, and it's not, apparently. I've been accused of making this political. I've been accused of creating partisan races, and it wasn't me. It was the state legislature that did that. We support that, however, because we think it's important. We think it's important for the transparency of the candidate to tell people what they believe. Because regardless of what people say, you vote your values. So we've put together this little piece here to tell you what our values are in the Tennessee, or the Wilson County Republican Party. We believe in family rights, religious freedom, respect life, property rights, Second Amendment rights, small government, less regulation, low taxes, safe communities, fair elections, excellent education, not indoctrination. We want to end DEI everywhere, and we don't want to see boys in girls' bathrooms. Very simple. This is what we believe Republicans believe. Another party may have opposite beliefs of this. They certainly aren't these. And I think it's important to let the voters know when it comes around, primaries are good because they let people, they give the people the first look at you to say, what do you believe in? And in Wilson County, I think that most people believe in these values. And I believe that most of you do, which is why you all pulled Republican petitions. So I ask you to make the choice. We won this election last time, 1,143 votes to 399 for the Democrat. People say, we want to know what the people in 5 say. That's what they said. 1,143 Republican votes to 399 Democrat votes. They already told you. So the reason I thought this was going to be an easy one is, as the chairman of the Wilson County Republican Party, we're only asking what we think we've already won. I don't, people can complain about partisan elections, but they're here. So I ask you respectfully, please put a Republican in the seat in Zone 5. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lotto. Mr. Tommy Bryan.
Excuse me.
No, I said thank you, Mr. Lotto.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
I'm Tommy Bryan, a lifelong resident of Zone 5. My address is 102 Oak Hill Circle, Lebanon. Members of the County Commission, Mayor Hutto, I'll be brief. Tonight, you'll make a decision about the open seat on the school board. Larry Tomlinson has graciously offered to step back into that position, but only until the next general election. Make no mistake about it, the decision you'll make here tonight impacts public education in Wilson County. A former chairman of the school board, Larry is a product of the Wilson County school system. He's a graduate of Lebanon High, and he has been a champion of public education throughout his career. He and his wife Pam have 2 daughters, both of whom are products of the Wilson County school system. They have grandchildren who have been enrolled and currently enrolled in the Wilson County school system. He has been to parent-teacher conferences. He sat on those hard bleachers as his children played softball, volleyball, and cheered. He's been to the auditorium for plays and musical performances. Larry has a deep understanding of the inner workings of our local school system. He supported the construction of 5 new school buildings and the renovation of many others during his tenure on the board. Rarely does a body such as this have the opportunity to fill a vacancy with someone whose credentials are as strong as Larry, someone who is so knowledgeable and prepared to hit the ground running. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, "The time is always right to do the right thing." Members of the County Commission, do the right thing tonight. Make the courageous decision, the one you know in your hearts will be in the best interest of the students, teachers, and administrators of the Wilson County school system. I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Sophie Moore.
Hello, my name is Sophie Moore. I live at 9636 North Milton Road, Milton. Ladies and gentlemen of the Commission, I would like to thank you for your service to our county, as well as for this opportunity to come before you today in support of Kevin Mack. He is the most qualified person up for appointment to fill the vacant seat in Zone 5. I'd like to present some of his qualifications now. He was a small business owner, and he is the former mayor of Mount Juliet, so he has both public and private budget experience. When Green Hills High School needed a STEM teacher, Kevin volunteered to fill that position. Under his leadership as mayor, Beckwith Road interchange was built. The northern section of Golden Bear Parkway was built, and he was able to widen Mount Juliet Parkway in under 18 months. He was able to accomplish this without a city property tax. History will most likely remember him as one of the best mayors Mount Juliet has ever had. That is saying a lot considering the fact that the current mayor, James Maness, is doing a truly spectacular job. A Republican overwhelmingly won this seat in the last election. I know that the vast majority of voters still want a Republican in this seat. This is your opportunity to do the right thing by the voters of Zone 5 and all of Wilson County. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Jason Moore?
Wow, she did a pretty good job, right? Sorry. Sorry. All right, so I would like to thank the commissioners and you, Mr. Mayor, for the opportunity to speak tonight. Before I get into qualifications for school board, I would like to say that the voters of Wilson County are desperate for elected officials that will instinctively do the right thing, that will make the right decision without being harassed and harangued by the people who put them into their positions. They don't want to spend their Tuesday night at the cornhouse. They want to elect good men and good women to represent them well in their position. Tonight, you have the opportunity to show them that you are worthy of the trust that they put in you. And since we're talking about qualifications for office, I would like to list some of Mr. Tomlinson's achievements while in office. The same office he now seeks for your appointment to, because he's had this position before. In 2013, he was appointed to the school board by the Wilson County Commission, and he once again comes before you to make this request. On his Facebook page, he has a list of his qualifications. Included in that is a statement that there was a balanced budget every year of his tenure. Anyone who served on this body during those years knows this not to be true. His budgets only balanced after coming before the commission and putting them in the unenviable position of having to make up for him not being able to stay within the budget. As school board chair and representative of Wilson County Schools, he came to an agreement with the state of Tennessee and the city of Mount Juliet over sales tax revenue. At the direction of the then director of schools, he backed out of that agreement. This decision went on to cost the city of Mount Juliet $200,000. Under his leadership as board chair, he renovated the old Lebanon High School to become the new school administration building. It had a budget of $14 million that he promptly blew through to create a final price tag of $21 million. This is at a time when a new building could have been built for a fraction of the cost. He was board chair when Green Hills High School was built. It had a price tag of $100 million. This made it the most expensive school in Tennessee history, and it was at the same time that Williamson County built a new high school for $60 million. Being an ambitious man, he figured out a way to make the final cost rise to $130 million. Currently, Wilson County Schools is facing an insurance budget shortfall of over $7 million, and we are only halfway through the school year. Is that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Over the past 2 years, there's been a shortfall of $5 million combined, and these shortfalls are due to the actions and inaction under his leadership. Due to his mismanagement, the money that should be going to maintaining all of our school buildings is being spent on covering shortfalls. This is a direct result of his leadership. During his time on the board, by these accounts, and only these, he has squandered $60 to $70 million of Wilson County taxpayer dollars, and he stands before you today talking about experience and qualifications to be placed back into that position. He has proven through his actions that he is not worthy of an appointment tonight, and I ask you to answer him with a resounding no. Thank you.
Ms. Terry Nicholson.
Good evening. My name's Terry Nicholson, and I live at 1303 Camelot Bay in Mount Juliet. Currently serve on the Tennessee Tennessee Republican Party Board. First of all, I'd like to thank our commissioners and Mayor Hutto for allowing us to participate in public comments, as well as everybody who joined to come out tonight. In 2021, our Tennessee legislators provided Wilson County voters with the opportunity to clearly understand where our candidates both Republican and Democrat, and independents stand politically by allowing them to identify their party affiliation if they choose. The choice is theirs. This empowered the Wilson County voters to make more informed decisions at the ballot box. Our Wilson County School Board candidates, for the first time, were finally able to communicate their political beliefs more transparently to the voters. This promoted greater integrity and transparency, and it strengthened accountability, which is imperative for anyone who holds an elected position. In the most recent election for the Wilson County School Board Zone 5 seat, 74.11% of the voters chose the Republican candidate. This strong majority outcome is highly significant and should be carefully considered when determining how to fill the current zone vacancy. For these reasons, I respectfully request that you honor the clearly expressed wishes of the Zone 5 voters and appoint Mr. Kevin Mack to fill the open Zone 5 school board seat. Thank you for your time and thoughtful consideration of this request.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholson. Ms. Laura Hadley, Warren.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Laura Warren, and I reside at 200 Vineyard Way. Although I am not in the zone up for consideration tonight, I did feel strongly that I wanted to speak. I met Mr. Tomlinson when we moved to Lebanon in 2014 or 15. He was one of the first people I met at a chamber event, actually, and for a long time when he and I discussed the fact that I was a former educator and had entered a different career field, which led me to become a resident of Lebanon. For a long time, we'd talk about education, and I had no idea what political affiliation he had, if any, nor did I know that that was a requirement of board members to actually declare, because when I was a teacher and worked at the school board in Nashville, you know what we talked about was we talked about kids, and we talked about what was best for students and the teachers who served them and the administrators. So some of this political interplay involved with students was fairly new to me, coming out of I guess what was more naive of thinking about students first in some ways. But I found in Mr. Tomlinson someone who consistently talked about the importance of the students in our county, and what I've come to love so much about Wilson County is especially our Blue Ribbon schools. And you guys have helped make that happen by supporting so much of what happens in Wilson County, and thank you for the hard work that you do. I did not know I was going to speak tonight, so I was thinking, what should I focus on? There were two things. First, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience of getting to know Mr. Tomlinson and what I had found, which was a non-affiliated political, there was no political affiliation. He spoke consistently about students and teachers and what the county needed. The second thing is that in looking at his resume, which I did not get off social media, I looked for facts about Mr. Tomlinson's background, which I'm sure you appreciate facts, so I'll stick to some of those. Someone else mentioned that he had been appointed in 2013 to fill an unexpired term, and he'd been elected by Zone 5 voters who I would have to imagine are a little bit appalled by the sexually scandal-ridden issue, which is why we are here tonight to make these determinations, and you have to think really hard about what's happening here. Mr. Tomlinson, my understanding is he stepped in because there was a need, and that this political conversation that's happening is probably, Mr. Tomlinson, not what you were planning on having to deal with when you thought you were just helping out for the next 7 months, because you have the experience to step in and finish the term out, particularly when it is so scandal-ridden, unfortunately. Now let me switch gears a little bit to a business owner perspective. I'm a business owner, and I have a position open in my staffing right now, and I have choices about who I have step in temporarily until I find my permanent replacement.
Thank you, Ms. Warren. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
I hope you will consider Mr. Tomlinson for this.
Tim Bryant.
Hello, good evening. My name is Tim Bryant. I reside at 405 Barclay Court, Nashville, Tennessee. And even though I do not reside in the zone for the seat that is up for discussion. I was born and raised in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, here in Wilson County. I currently serve as the area director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I've been in that position now for 11 years, and we serve weekly over 2,500 student athletes and coaches. And I come tonight to speak about Larry for just a few minutes, not as a Republican or Democrat, but as a man, as a human being that was elected to our board, and he served for about a little over 8 years. I've been in that position for 11. After he stepped down, we selected him as a board member emeritus. And I just feel like Larry will bring stability to this position. It needs stability. He'll bring stability. He'll bring character, high morals, trustworthiness. He's dependable and a man of his word. He's family-oriented, community-minded. He's always talking about community. He's a straight shooter, but yet always tactful. To me, he has a genuine concern for the students and the families here in Wilson County that he has served all of these years, and that's most important at this time. And lastly, I believe that Larry is a sincere follower of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and he displays that by his everyday walk and lifestyle, because I firmly believe, as a minister, that people would rather see a sermon than hear one any day, as you've heard before. But I know this for a fact, that the students and youth that I serve here in Wilson County, they don't care about how much you know, but how much you care. I believe that Larry Tomlinson cares about the students and the parents here in Wilson County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Mr. Perry Neal.
Thank you guys for the chance to come here and speak for a couple of seconds. My name's Perry Neal. I'm a lifelong resident and voter of Zone 5. I would be one of the 1,143 people that voted in the last election for the Republican candidate. I come before you here tonight to express my support for my neighbor and friend, Mr. Kevin Mack. Not only am I here to support him for tonight, but Lord willing, I plan on supporting him in the future election for this spring and fall. I don't know him real well. He's moved to our community, the Crossroads neighborhood, 5 or 6 years ago, but what time I have gotten to know him, I want to make just a couple of quick comments. I think he is more than just a candidate with an R beside his name. In my opinion, he's well qualified, he's very intelligent. He has a heart for public service and doing what he feels is right for Wilson County. I also want to say that in the past, I have voted and supported for Mr. Larry Tomlinson. I have nothing whatsoever negative to say about Mr. Larry Tomlinson. And I'm going to say something that may make your jobs harder or easier. I don't know. I think you've got two great choices here tonight that I hear of. I think it's a win-win. You know, I don't know if that takes any pressure off anybody or not, but I think regardless of which way you go, you got a winner. You know, but at the end of the day, I want to say that I did come up here to speak in behalf of Mr. Kevin Mack, as my neighbor, and I think he'd do a great job. The only other comment I would say is I believe there's been quite a bit of division over this in the community, maybe amongst you guys, I don't know, and whoever you guys vote on tonight, I hope we all leave here in 100% support of that candidate. I know I will, and I will 100% support each one of you guys, however y'all choose to vote tonight. I hope we can all do that and move forward forward after tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. Mr. Jack Pratt, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioners, Jack Pratt Jr., 1145 Grant Road, Tucker's Crossroads community. Commissioners, tonight I rise in support of my friend and a friend of a lot of people here in Wilson County, Mr. Larry Tomlinson. A lot of people have talked about Larry's experience, so I won't double into that too much, but that is the main reason that I'm here in support of him. 20-plus years on the school board, representing Zone 5, many of those as chairman. 12 years as a county commissioner. Now think about that. Someone who has sat in your seat and sat in the school board seat, just wanting to fill this for the next 7 or 8 months to the election. 19 years as the director of the Wilson County James E. Ward Ag Center. And I believe he served 6 years in the military as well. Everything people have talked about Larry, about being trustworthy, service-oriented, community-oriented, I can't go into it anymore and explain it any better than they can or many of you know. Larry is your plug-and-play candidate. He can step into the role and fill it. 2 other things I'd like to mention tonight. And they're fear and courage. Unfortunately, as some others has mentioned, it seems that partisan politics has reared its head into this decision and in this debate tonight in a place it shouldn't be. You've had people talk about it's one party or this party. Ladies and gentlemen, this commission, this office that you're choosing tonight, this is the people's office. The people of Zone 5, the people of Wilson County, just like you represent all 25 of you. You know, if you look at it like that, and you talk about what Larry brings to this position, you have to think about the oath of office that the candidate's going to take. You're going to swear to uphold the Constitution, not swear a loyalty to one party, to do the duties of the office honorably. And Larry can do that. I just ask that tonight that you look into your heart and you think about the words of Winston Churchill, who said, fear is a reaction, courage is a choice. Look into your hearts, commissioners. Look beyond fear, because I know they're filled with courage. Larry, I know yours is, and mine is tonight. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt. Mr. Johnson?
I decline. Thank you.
Al Williams?
Good evening. My name is Al Williams. I'm a resident at 801 Moreland Hills Drive in Mount Juliet, and I rise to speak in favor of Kevin Mack. I've known him for 25-plus years. I've heard a lot about Mr. Tomlinson. I actually don't know the man. He sounds like a great guy. I think I probably like him as well. What I want to talk about with Kevin, though, is his future looking and his thought processes. When he was mayor of Mount Juliet, he actually appointed me to one of the boards. It wasn't because I was a Republican. It was because he wanted some differences made. He wanted differences of thought, and we were able to transform that board into a lot more organized process. Through his time as an engineer, his time as a business owner, his time as a teacher in Green Hill, we've had conversations on at least a monthly basis, talking about what's going on and thinking about the future. One of the things that he was appointed to, the STEM type of program at Green Hill, was thinking about what's kind of the future, how should we educate our kids better in this particular role. And that's what I saw with Kevin, is that he has a vision, and he wants the future to be better for kids. He thinks deeply about all the issues in which he's involved. And he happens to be fiscally conservative. That may not be as important, but he really is thoughtful for the future of education. And for that reason, I would support his candidacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Kevin Mack.
Good evening, everyone. I just have been impressed with the proceedings here tonight. I think we all should be very proud of Wilson County citizens and commissioners as well. I'm honored to be a candidate tonight, and I've met Mr. Tomlinson, and we've had a cordial relationship through this and hope to have a cordial relationship no matter who wins going forward. So I just want to say hats off to Wilson County, hats off to all of you all. I'm honored to be a candidate, and I would be honored to serve as well as a school board member. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Jocelyn Conrad.
Go ahead. Just takes me a minute. So don't let the 3 minutes start till I start talking, Randy.
Won't give you an extra 5 seconds.
Mayor Hutto and members of the County Commission, my name is Jocelyn Conrad, and I live at 1673 Carthage Highway here in Lebanon. I've been a lifelong resident of Wilson County. Thank you for allowing me a moment to speak to you this evening regarding the vacancy on the Wilson County Board of Education created by the resignation of a former member. Before I continue, I want to say that voting is a privilege that I take very seriously. Each commissioner's vote is their own choice and their own right, and I fully respect the responsibility each of you carries when making decisions on behalf of our county. As a person, I believe that every time you look in the mirror, you need to seek courage and self-respect. We cannot change yesterday. We can only work on today and improve tomorrow. That perspective matters in moments like this, when decisions should be made with integrity, reflection, and a focus on what is best moving forward. Tonight, you're asked to consider a candidate who is not only qualified, but uniquely prepared to step into this role without disruption to our school system. Larry Tomlinson is that candidate, and he is aptly for this appointment, and his record of service speaks for itself. Mr. Tomlinson served on the Wilson County School Board for many years, including several as chairman. And during that time, he demonstrated steady leadership, sound judgment, and a deep understanding of the challenges and responsibilities that come with governing a large and diverse school system. Beyond his service on the school board, Larry Tomlinson is a respected member of our community who has answered the call to public service on numerous occasions. His commitment to Wilson County has always been rooted in doing what is best for our citizens, especially our children, rather than advancing any political agenda. For over 50 years, Larry and his wife Pam have been two of my most trusted friends. It is important to emphasize that this decision should be based on qualifications, experience, and the ability to serve effectively from day one, not on a political party or affiliation. Our students, teachers, and administrators benefit most from leadership that is knowledgeable, experienced, and focused on education. The Director of Schools has specifically requested Mr. Tomlinson's appointment due to his knowledge, experience with board operations, and familiarity with current district needs. His appointment would ensure continued stability and informed decision-making during this transition period. For these reasons, I respectfully urge this commission to vote to appoint Larry Tomlinson to fill the vacancy on the Wilson County Board of Education. His proven leadership, extensive experience, and dedication to public service makes him the right choice for our schools and our community. One last thing before I stop. My husband looked at me before he was killed in a car accident, and one night he said,
Ms. Conrad, I hate to stop you, but I'll be in trouble with the rest. I know that. And I knew.
I got one thing to say. He looked at me and he said, if you ever thought that it's not what you take with you, it's what you leave behind, I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
And for any of you that have ever had a conversation with Ms. Conrad, that is the shortest conversation she's ever had. For sure. I will end public comment period, and I'll take a motion to go back into session. All in favor say aye. Commission, now the floor is open for nominations, and we will take those. I was corrected earlier. I said secret ballot. It's really paper ballot is what we go by, so it's not secret. We just don't tell who votes for who until after the commission meeting tonight, and Ms. Sandra does that. So I'll now open the floor for the commission for nominations. Please be sure and push request to speak so I can get your mic going. And Commissioner Denton, I'll turn the floor over to you.
Yes, I'd like to can we speak to our motion?
More than welcome to. Just making a nomination, but you're welcome to do that, or you can do that when we start getting ready to vote, whichever you want to do.
I'd like to make a motion and speak to that of Kevin Mack to go back and to fill the position for the rest of this term. Also, I feel like that he'll probably be a candidate, a good candidate for the next election as well. But I do that because of all his experience that he has. Experience to me is not the issue here. Experience here is that experience has accomplishments with it, has competence with it. He has experience with competence. He's been successful in everything from political, educational, to in his career. He's been successful at commercial. Anything he touches, he seems to do a good job, successful, thinks well. He's very intelligent, and we don't want to go back to incompetency. We don't want to go back to huge amounts of debt and no bid contracts and those kinds of things which went on back when Mr. Thompson was the chairman. But he has a wide variety of successful enterprises, very successful businessman. He is retired at a young age, so he's very flexible, and he's even been a teacher in our schools as well, so he's knowledgeable about all aspects of a job. I think he'll work well with our board now, President Board, and our Director of Schools. And I think experience is always trumped by competence, and we don't want to go back to the days to where we had those kinds of unproven leadership and days to where we didn't know why, well, $300 million, $600 million debt rolled up in a short period of time. And so we certainly don't want to go back to those kind of days. We want to go forward to good days. And partisan politics is not what any of us likes. But I can remember when Mr. Thompson was the chairman that every time I had to go before the board, it was partisan politics. It was 5-2, 5-2. Always two conservatives against 5 that took a more moderate to liberal view. And so things flipped a few years ago, and we certainly hadn't fell apart. In fact, from what our director tells us, we're doing tremendous days. So I think Kevin Mack will help us just go to a higher level in our education department and work well with our team we have now. So I make the motion that we elect Kevin Mack.
Got Mr. Kevin Mack, and now Commissioner Hall.
I would like to nominate someone who has not been mentioned tonight, who I believe deserves the opportunity to speak her case, and I'm going to nominate Cindy Johnson.
And Commissioner Kurtz.
I'd like to nominate Larry Tomlinson.
Seeing nobody else in the hopper, do I hear a motion to nomination cease? Second? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. This time I would like to ask these candidates if they would like to address the commission to step forward to the back of the podium there, and I'll give you 5 minutes to do that if you'd like to do that. And I would start with Mr. Kevin Mack.
Yeah, I don't have much to add beyond what I sent to you guys already, so I won't take up any of your time, but just to refresh a little bit about my budgeting experience, which I think will be significant and important as we move forward. I've spent a lot of time trying to do a lot of things with a little bit of money. Referencing my time in Mount Juliet, we were able to build roads such as widen Mount Juliet Road and get the Golden Golden Bear Parkway project started, and others. When I was first elected onto the county commission, we had a property tax. We were able to set that to zero, and it stayed at zero the entire time that I was there. So I'm very, as was mentioned earlier, fiscally conservative, and work really hard to not only run without property tax, but also one of the things we did was sent Bobby Franklin there, who worked for me at the time, to Las Vegas, and that caused quite a stir. But that's where the shopping center convention was, and Bobby brought back what ended up being the Providence shopping complex, and then later the Paddocks complex in Mount Juliet. Both of those have created significant tax dollars that have made your job easier to hold the property tax down because of that sales tax revenue. So someone mentioned a forward-looking viewpoint. That's an example of what we did, and just I was only mayor there for 4 years, but we got a lot of things accomplished there. Same in my business experience. In my company, we ran debt-free, and that was, again, to a very conservative viewpoint and focus on budgeting. And so, again, as the Republican candidate, you can count on me to preserve Tennessee's low tax heritage. One of the other things I want to talk a little bit about is what I hope to accomplish on the school board. And of course, we've got tremendous growth coming along, and it will continue. There's no sign of it abating. And so, again, that budgeting and the ability to run with minimal tax input as possible will come in helpful, I believe, in continuing the growth of the schools. As far as education goes, what I taught was a career and technical education course called Advanced Manufacturing. It included things like digital electronics, mechatronics, which is a combination of mechanical and electrical type skills. And one of the things that my students in one of my classes came away with was a certification that most students don't get until they get into college. That's a Siemens Level 1 certification. And that enabled them to go directly into the workforce, which some of them did, or go on to college at Tennessee Tech or elsewhere. So I'm definitely interested in trying to replicate those type things. I know the school system, the college and technical career education folks, having worked in that area, and I look forward to pushing that STEM and CTE things further. One of the last things that I'd like to mention is that I do, while it's not core to what I'm looking to do, I do have a very strong socially conservative viewpoint as well. Things like right to life, Second Amendment, things such as the transgender movement. That impacted me as a teacher when I was teaching. I had to deal with that, and I appreciated that there were strong guidelines in place that helped me understand how to deal with that better. And again, I think Mr. Brad Lytle sums it up as we don't want boys and girls bathrooms, and I'm definitely behind that, as well as making sure that the materials we have in the libraries are appropriate. So I'm happy to serve in this temporary position, regardless whether you elect me or not. I'll be a candidate for the Republican primary and also a candidate for the general election in August. But if you choose to elect me, I'd certainly appreciate your vote tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Ms. Cindy Johnson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the County Commission. I am here tonight. I know my name is Cynthia Donovan Johnson. I have been a latecomer to this election and appointment for the Zone 5, but I have a great love for this community. My family moved here in this area in the early 40s and went on to raise 5 children in this fine county. I have pulled a petition to run in the upcoming election for the Zone 5 school board position. I am a Republican, and due to my husband's failing health and countless hospital stays, I failed to vote in some of the primaries and will be running as independent candidate. I was his caregiver for 10 years up until the time of his passing. I have lived my entire life in this area except for the years that I had attended MTSU. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Elementary and Special Education. I then later went on to get my master's degree in Administration and Supervision. I spent my next 32 years in Wilson County School System. I have worked in both the certified and classified areas of the system. I have worked my career in the field as I served at the high school and elementary levels in special education. I have a love for the special needs students, and I hope to be there for those of all students, not just special ed. My students have been successful. They may not be the greatest ones that go out there and change the world, but most are employed now. As the classified position, I worked as the pre-K secretary. I went back after my leave of absence when my mother was sick, and I took care of her until her passing. At that time, I decided I needed to go back and finish out my time in the system so I could finish my retirement. I only lacked 3 more years, and so I went back and spent 5 more years as the pre-K secretary. And as my part of that, I also assisted at the family resource person who was able to go out and help collect food for our homeless and assisting our students and families who were in need of food. I was nominated for Teacher of the Year at the Vocational Center. I unfortunately did not win that nomination, but I was honored to have lost to a dear friend and fellow educator, Johnny Payton. College Street Church also had a teacher and administrator banquet each year. I was nominated by the Vocational Center, and I won that year. It was such an honor. I was Special Olympics Director here in Wilson County for 12 years. I helped to oversee our training for coaches and athletes. I oversaw and assisted with the fundraising activities and spent numerous days and weekends planning local activities, taking our athletes to local, state, and invitational competitions. I was also fortunate to be able to take athletes and to coach at 3 of the World Games. I have established some strong parent relationship in our area and across the state. I am dedicated to providing the best service to Zone 5 voters and to all children throughout Wilson County. Will bring dedicated services and positive outcomes to the citizens of Wilson County and the children of Wilson County. I'd just like to get a thank you for allowing me this opportunity to address the County Commission. And if you are currently undecided on your vote, I would appreciate your consideration for this position. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Cindy.
Thank you.
Mr. Larry Tomlinson.
Mayor Hutto, ladies and gentlemen of the County Commission, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the years that I've spent on the school board. I think my record speaks for itself. I make no apologies about anything that we did while I was on the school board. We elected some good directors of schools. Whenever I first got on the school board, one of the first issues we were faced with was having to hire a director of schools when it was took away from being an elected position. And I'm proud of the directors that we appointed during that time, and I'm especially proud of the one that we have now, in Jeff Luttrell. A man of character, a man that don't mind saying what he believes, standing up for what he believes. And Jeff's record and the school board's record speaks for itself. You've had the opportunity to watch some things on the board tonight about all the reward schools and that kind of thing. And I'm proud to have been a part of that. And ladies and gentlemen, that wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for you guys. In your relationship that you had with the Board of Education and the director of schools, all the directors of schools for all these years. We had a good working relationship. And I would see that that could continue to be if I get back on that board. Of 5 of the people that's on the current board now, I've served with. And there's no reason that I couldn't sit down in that seat and start working with them again. But I'll tell you what I am about. I'm about every boy and girl that comes through the doors of our schools having the same opportunity, regardless of race, creed, color, or what it might be. They all deserve the same opportunities. I'm for our teachers and for our administrators and his staff and all the mamas and the daddies and the grandmothers and the granddaddies that get up every day and bring them to school to know that their children are coming into a safe school, a safe place. We worked hard to make that happen, and we'll continue to do that. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the seat that you're sitting in here tonight. I sat there for 12 years. I got elected 3 terms. Some of you sitting in here tonight had people that on the commission that I sat with and I served with. Part of that 12 years I served, 8 years of that I served on the road commission. And we had a hard time back during that day of getting the people out of gravel roads, eating dust. We had to get into the landfill business. We had to get into the EMA, ambulance service, fire protection. And we didn't have near the resources that you guys got made available to you here today and tonight. But we made it work. But I want to tell you one other thing about the commission. When we came through those doors, we put personal feelings behind us. We hung our hats up. We came in here to do the business of the people that elected us. Did we always agree on everything? No, we didn't always agree. But we didn't care what political party you belonged to. Back in that day, we didn't even talk about political parties. We didn't even know about political parties. You know, there may have been some Democrats, there may have been some Republicans, I don't know. We never even talked about that. But the situation that you're in tonight, that's been made a big issue. And it's put a lot of you in a really bad position. And for that, I apologize. But I volunteered with the encouragement of some of the people all over this county that asked me when the seat came available, would I be interested in doing it? And especially at the encouragement of our director of schools, Jeff Luttrell. And I told him that I would. I said, when the seat comes open, I'll be interested in it. I have no ambition, no desire to run for it again. But I want to tell you, you ladies and gentlemen have been put in a bad place simply because that somebody has held over your head or called you and told you that if you don't vote for somebody that's got an R by their name, we're going to primary somebody against you. Well, that's wrong. We don't need any bullies in our community that's going to harass you and bully you over something like this. This should have been a pretty easy decision.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
But you've made it tough.
Thompson, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hutto.
Now we're ready to vote.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
And I'll answer any questions that you might have.
It's time for us to vote, and Ms. Dowdy will pass out the ballot. Remember, you have 3 people to consider, Mr. Kevin Mack, Ms. Cindy Johnson, Mr. Larry Tomlinson. You'll vote for 1. We'll count the votes. Remember, it takes a simple majority of 13 to win the seat. After the first vote is cast, if you do not have 13, we will take the lowest person off and re-vote. Please be sure and sign your ballot, and the district you represent, please. Again, you're to vote for 1 person. You have Kevin Mack, Cindy Johnson, and Mr. Larry Tomlinson to consider. As soon as you sign your ballot, you'll pass them to the center aisle. Ms. Dowdy will pick those up. Again, vote for Kevin Mack, Cindy Johnson, or Mr. Larry Tomlinson. You only vote for 1. Takes 13 votes to get the nomination. Once we finish this, we will swear in that candidate at this time before we move forward. Have all the ballots been handed in? Ready to go.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Tomlinson. Who's that?
Tomlinson.
Oh. Tomlinson. Tomlinson. Mack. 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 Abstain. Tomlinson. Tomlinson. Johnson. Johnson. Tomlinson. Mack. Tomlinson. Mack. Mack. Tomlinson. Tomlinson. Mack. 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 And Mack. Everybody get 13?
So the votes we have are 9 for Mr. Tomlinson, 2 for Ms. Johnson, and 11 for Kevin Mack. So we'll revote. We'll take Ms. Johnson out of the voting, and now you'll vote between Mr. Kevin Mack and Mr. Larry Tomlin. So we will vote again. Again, it takes 13 to win the nomination. You have a choice between Mr. Kevin Mack and Mr. Larry Tomlinson. Be sure and sign your ballot. So your options are down to Mr. Kevin Mack, Mr. Larry Tomlinson. Please sign your ballot and the district that you're in. Once you finish, if you will pass those to the middle. And we'll go from there.
Give me those words. Hand me those. Do not start yet.
All ballots are in. You ready?
Yes.
Tomlinson. Mack. Tomlinson. Tomlinson. Mack. 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 Tomlinson. Tomlinson. Mack. Tomlinson. Mack. Abstaining. Mack. Tomlinson. Mack. Mack. Tomlinson. Mack. Mack. Tomlinson. Mack. Mack. Mack got 13.
Okay. Is that what you have, Mr.?
13 and a half.
So the vote was 13 votes for Mr. Kevin Mack, 9 for Mr. Tomlinson. Mr. Thompson, thank you for your consideration. Congratulations, Mr. Kevin Mack. If you would step forward, and I will swear you in at this time. Use that podium there. You can use that mic there if you'd like to. Okay. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kevin Mack,
I, Kevin Mack,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will perform with fidelity the duties of the office
to
which I've been appointed and which I'm about to assume. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to support the constitutions
to support the constitutions
of Tennessee and the United States,
and the United States,
and to faithfully perform the duties of the office of the Board of Education representing Zone 5 of Wilson County, Tennessee. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you will, I'll let you sign right here. I'll fill those two out for you to sign there. Thank you. Congratulations. Yes, sir. Thank you to the I'd like to thank our audience for the respect that you showed tonight, to Ms. Cindy Johnson as well for being a candidate. And at this time, we will move forward with the rezoning at this time.
Motion for a 5-minute recess.
Got a motion and a second for a 5-minute recess. All in favor say aye. Aye. We'll be back in 5 minutes. I'd like to call back the order of the County Commission meeting and go back into session. There is no special recognition at this time.
Now you need to go out of session.
There is no special recognition, so we'll go to public zoning for tonight, and I need a motion to go out of session again. All in favor say aye. Aye. And I'll turn it over here to Mr. Christopher. Glad to have you here.
Sam voted aye.
Mr. Sam, thank you for being with us tonight. Christopher, he couldn't hear me though. Christopher, the floor is yours.
Okay. Before we get into this tonight, there were two items that one was on your agenda, one was removed prior due to emails that we had received. It was the first one is the Usry property located at 3505 Murfreesboro Road. That applicant has requested deferral until your March agenda. He will then be heard then. That is his last deferral. That is the last deferral from the applicant on that case. He will have to be heard unless you all defer him again at that March meeting, but he will be heard at that March meeting. The second one is Jim Lukens from Ware Malcolm. This is the property on McCreary Roads known as Project Crossroads. This was deferred by the commission last month. That has been deferred by the applicant to your February agenda. That is in relation to a meeting that the planning office and the applicant had with TDOT. They're requiring a traffic impact study on the intersection for the proposed traffic light that you all wanted them to look in there. So the applicant is going back and running financials to see if that's feasible on his account. Both of those will be before you in the future. A public hearing will be held before the Wilson County Commission on Monday, January 19, 2025 at 7 p.m. or thereafter in the County Commission Room of the Wilson County Courthouse, 228 East Main Street, Lebanon, Tennessee. Items for consideration tonight are the application made by Jeff Knitsky, Panatone Development, representing property owners Carolyn Gillahan and Clarence Blackburn, requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to medium and high-intensity commercial. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same properties from A1 agricultural to C4 planned commercial. The properties contain approximately 31.57 acres and are located at 2308 and 2450 Gwynn Road, and is further referenced as parcel 10.03 on Wilson County Tax Map 141 and parcel 10.06 on Wilson County Tax Map 141. Second item for consideration tonight is the application made by Victoria Goddard, representing Goddard Construction, and representing property owner Paul Goddard, requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to low-density, low-intensity commercial area. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same property from A1 agricultural to C1 neighborhood commercial. The property contains approximately 10.46 acres and is located at 4881 Murfreesboro Road. Road, and is further referenced as parcel 42 on Wilson County Tax Map 123. A copy of these requests have been on file in the Wilson County Planning Office located at 228 East Main Street and on the Wilson County website at wilsoncountytn.gov. They have been available for inspection during regular business hours. Anyone desired to comment is requested to attend tonight's meeting.
This time, we'll have public comment period on the two properties that were just talked about. On the public comment sign-in sheet, Ms. Victoria Goddard. Please state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to talk.
Hi, Victoria Goddard, 1006 John Wright Road. I just signed in case you guys have any questions about it when we get it rezoned, so that's all I got.
Thank you so much for being here. I didn't see anyone else wishing to speak on our list. Was there anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, we'll close public comment period, and then we'll go back into session. Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Christopher?
All right, the first item for consideration tonight is the application presented by Jeff Kaninsky, Panatone Development. This application is representing property owners, again, Carol Gillahan and Clarence Blackburn, requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to medium and high-intensity commercial area. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same properties from A1 agricultural to C4 planned commercial. That overlay was included in your packet, and the properties contain approximately 31.57 acres and are located at 2308 and 2450 Gwynn Road, and is further referenced as parcel 10.03 on Wilson County Tax Map 141 and parcel 10.06. This rezoning request was presented to the Wilson County Planning Commission on Friday, November 21st, 2025, and is being forwarded to the Wilson County Commission with a positive recommendation from that board.
Commissioner Evans, it's in your district. We'll open the floor with you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This request would actually close the donut hole in the Speedway property where all the warehouses are built on the backside of it. It has no access to Gwynn Road other than through for emergency access. So I have no issues with the request, and I'd make a motion we approve.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let the record reflect is unanimous. Chris?
Last item I have for you all, this application will be presented on Monday, January 19, 2026. Application has been made by Victoria Goddard, Goddard Construction, representing owner Paul Goddard, requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to low-density, low-intensity commercial area. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same property from A1 agricultural to C1 neighborhood commercial. The property contains approximately 10.46 acres and is located at 4881 Murfreesboro Road, and is further referenced as parcel 42 on Wilson County Tax Map 123. The rezoning request was presented to the Wilson County Planning Commission on Friday, November 21st, 2025, and is being forwarded to the Wilson County Commission with a positive recommendation. To give you a little bit of history on this property, it was originally before you. It was deferred. The applicant was originally requesting C3 highway commercial. It was deferred by the County Commission. In the interim, the applicant had withdrawn that request and then reapplied for C1 neighborhood commercial, and now they're back before you as they've went through the process.
Again, Mr. Haskell, it's in your district.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Chris said, this one originally came as a request for C3. They withdrew that and reapplied for the C1 zoning at my request to alleviate some concerns that came up between the Planning Commission and the County Commission meeting. I do appreciate the applicants working with me on that, and I don't know if Christopher made the comment. Actually, I don't think Christopher made the comment, but at Planning Commission, then I did ask if there was any way that we could help these folks out with some of the fees that they had to pay twice, means that it was done at my request. So I'll be getting with the county attorney to continue to pursue that. Other than that, I appreciate them sticking with us through this extra long meeting to get to that, and I would make a motion that we approve this request.
Second. Any discussion or comments? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The record reflect it was unanimous. Okay, are we good?
You need to take action on that proposal?
It's from the applicant.
Okay.
We get them one, free one.
Thank you, Christopher. Believe it or not, we're with the minutes. Reports of Minutes Committee. Commissioner Fields.
The Minutes Committee met in a regular session on Thursday, January the 8th. Excuse me. I had some dental surgery yesterday. A copy of those minutes are in your packet. I move that they be received and filed.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye. Reading of the minutes. All in favor say aye. Communication from the chair tonight, just to let you know that there is a packet inside on your desk there in celebration of our nation's 250th anniversary. We're excited to announce a traveling exhibit will be here in the courthouse on display between March 30th and April 20th. And thanks to Brooke Driver for making this happen. It's free and open to the public as we celebrate that, and there'll be some other things coming out, but thank her for taking care of that for us. We'll move forward now. I believe we're going to ready for, unless I'm missing something, report from the Emergency Management Committee. Commissioner Bernard.
No report.
Emergency Management Director report. Mr. Brian Newberry. Mr. Cooper is out on a medical assignment tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, you have your packet there. Total call volume was just a little over 19,000 from all aspects, fire, EMS, rescue, hazmat, et cetera, which is just a little bit over 1,000 up from last year. So as I'm sure the sheriff will have similar increases as well. Still got the warming shelter going on with obviously the cold weather coming in. So if you hadn't got your bread and milk, you better go get that. There's a lot of snow on the way, evidently. Depending on which forecast you look at, I guess. Other than that, that's all we've got, unless y'all have any questions.
Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Report from the Law Enforcement Committee. Thank you, Mr. Newberry. Commissioner Kurtz.
No report.
Sheriff Bryan for the Sheriff's report.
Thank you, Mayor, County Commissioners. Your reports in the packet. Numbers are pretty much on par, a little bit elevated in different areas. That second line right there, officers initiated checks, that's just, majority of that is traffic complaints. And you see the numbers that we're stopping cars left and right, and it's, we're doing our best, but with a lot of traffic out there, so. I'll be short with my report. School resource officers are busy every day. This cold weather is going to pull the inmate work crew in, so we'll do our best and when we can. Chief Newberry mentioned about this weekend's snow Armageddon we're having. Just my suggestion is if we're getting what they're saying we might get, just everybody please stay at home, because us and WEMA and the fire department and everybody else will be out there on the roads, and we don't want to be out there rescuing people, putting, you know, it's dangerous. It'll be dangerous, but we'll just request everybody stay at home if they can. So that concludes my report.
Motion approved.
Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Sheriff. Report from Education Committee. Commissioner Marlowe.
Education Committee met January the 8th. Minutes are in your packet. I move they be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Directors of School Report, Mr. Jeff Luttrell.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner, you have my report there in your packet. We did meet twice in January. You have those agendas attached. Next meeting will be February 2nd and February the 19th, if you'd like to attend. Enrollment up to 20,800. Total enrollment, won't be surprised to see us hit 21,000 about spring break. It's kind of what we're predicting. Having conducted interviews, Central Pike Elementary principal. I'll be looking to name that here in the next few days. Still got some things to go through to pick that principal. They will begin work preparing to open Central Pike to begin the school year. With that, Central Pike is on track, moving right along, and we will be opening at the start of school year. The week of January 25th through 31st is Tennessee Public School Board Appreciation Week, so if you get an opportunity to thank them for what they do. January 5th, we had our night celebration. Thank everyone. A lot of you were in attendance. A lot of you couldn't make it. You do have a copy, just a one-sheeter front and back, shows our success last year, and very excited. 82% of your schools are A's and B's. Largest, highest academic performance, every grade level in the history of Wilson County schools. And I'm going to say that every time I can. I want to thank our teachers, our students, our administrators, our parents, and you, everybody involved. Man, we got to work together. And that is so important in what we do. But the highest ever, and I wish I could drill down and show you. Again, if you're ever interested, come see me. We got some grade bands hitting 80% proficiency. We got some schools been reward schools 6-7 years in a row, and mathematically that's hard to do. And I want to say this: all of our students, all of our subgroups are moving. Now, where we want to go? No, because we want to be at the top. I set some strong goals when I took this job, and we're seeing that come to fruition. And it's very important that we stay the course on what's the most important. That's educating kids. That's what will matter in 10 years. And so, as long as I'm in this position, I'm going to keep pushing forward on that. I'll tell you that's what I'm about. But I want you to look at that. I know you're going to get a lot of information about public schools. I've given you 2 sheets. Refer to it, please, because that's the data. That's what the state and federal government has set out, and we just keep achieving. Is there difficult stories? Absolutely. We live them every day, and we're not going to give up on those kids either. So I wasn't going to say that much, but I'm going to brag on Wilson County schools, and I want you to brag on them. I want you to brag on these teachers. And our kids. Our kids are the ones that's doing it. So, and our teachers. A big part is the dedication of our teachers. So, I want to point that out. Also, included in your packets are open enrollment numbers. We've approved open enrollments for next school year, and we do have enough room. We didn't have to do a lottery. Thankfully, we don't want to do a lottery if we can keep from it. But we've worked through that and got those approved, and those families will be receiving that information quickly so that they can begin getting registered for classes. Do want to point out an employee that has received an honor. And it's quite an honor. The Connie Halls Givens Award was established in 2007 by the Tennessee Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, called TAPPERD, to recognize the school district or the individual who promoted exemplary physical education, physical activity, and health programs as part of coordinated school health. Our very own Chuck Whitlock has been named the recipient of the 2025 TAPPERD Connie Halls Givens Coordinated School Health Award, state award. It's a great award. So if you know Chuck, you see him, congratulate him. What Chuck does, he wears many hats in our district. He is the coordinator of school health. He's also our health supervisor. He's our district athletic director, and he exemplifies what goes on in Wilson County every day. And to be recognized at a state level for this award is quite an honor. And I know a lot of you know Chuck. If you see him, when you see him, he's not around much because he's out working all the time, but when you see him, don't forget to thank him, because when you're recognized by your peers, that is the best honor that you can get. And that is my report, but I'll be glad to answer any questions.
I got a motion second. Now, Commissioner Gentry.
Yeah, I appreciate the great job, your leadership, and everything in the school system. I noticed the K through 5 and the kindergarten enrollments are down by about 50 or so. What do we attribute that to, or do you attribute it?
Well, you're seeing a reduction in birth rate during that time frame.
Okay.
But ours is less than around the state. We didn't experience the dip. Many of them did.
Okay.
And to be off that few is not that. It's not
that
great
much.
Deal. No.
I know the overall enrollment is up.
Yeah, overall enrollment's up, and we're still monitoring that. But other districts, their kindergarten was down significantly.
Down more, huh?
Yes, and ours was not.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jeff Luttrell. Register of Deeds report, Ms. Murphy has a packet, have a report in your packet. I do not see her here. Do you have a motion to approve the report?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Trustees report, Mr. Hackett also has one in there. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Road Superintendent, Mr. Steve Murphy.
Mayor, Commissioners, in your packet, we should have the new road list for the 2026, which just shows us 868 miles. I know everybody's got a copy on it in your packet. If you want a hard copy, call the office and we'll get you a hard copy made, but a lot of people don't want it now. We used to give out hard copies to everybody. Anyway, if you want a hard copy, let me know. Call the office, 615-444-9022. I was going to speak on these bridges. The bridge at Stewart's Ferry, if you don't know, it's completely gone now. So there's just a big hole here, but they are working. Hopefully we can, weather permitting, the end of June, we'll try to have it back going, have traffic back on it. The next one we've got, the stages come in and told us on the Eastover Road. I don't know if you know where Spring Creek comes across there. We've had to shut it down. The state said we had to, so many days to get it shut down. So it's shut down indefinitely. So I've got engineers working on it. Could take 3 to 6 months to have it designed. Then I got to bid it. So it's going to be a process. So I just wanted to let everybody know that it is shut down. We shut it down today. We're doing a patchwork across the county, and our slope mowers are still running, weather permitting. Just doing our general maintenance. And that concludes my report, unless anybody's got any questions.
Got a motion second. Commissioner Hall?
Mr. Murphy, I'm just curious if you all have got your scrapers good and sharp.
We've got them sharp as we can get them. We hope we don't have to have them, but they don't sound good, I can tell you that.
Seeing no other comments, all in favor say aye. Ag Center report, Mr. Major is out of pocket tonight, but he does have a report in there. To hear a motion to approve it.
Motion approved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. And Ag Expo Center report, Ms. Gill.
Good evening, everybody, and I will not take a long time, but I was not able to be here at the last meeting, so I wanted to make sure I was available for the year-end report in case you had any questions. I emailed you a copy, and I also put a copy on your desk, and how it turned out for 2025, we ended up about 41,000 under covering expenses, but if you look at the 5-year average, it was about 105 to the good. So I was just trying to look at where the positives were. It clearly points to expenses, because if you look at the income, it was pretty routine and pretty steady, even with a couple cancellations that we had. So where those expenses came in, it was HVAC repairs, it was light repairs. The lighting repairs are proving to be expensive, and they are going out like 2 or 3 at a time, and then we have to fix those, and then we have to wait, and then the others go out too. So we've got that, and then there were some additional expenses. I am very excited to say the new sound and AV system is up and running in the main exhibit hall. It is phenomenal. You've got 2 LED screens that are very large, great to watch football on, I'm just saying. And then you've also got the sound system, all the speakers mounted in the ceiling and the subwoofers, and you don't have to crank that volume up very much for everybody to be able to hear. So I think everybody that comes in is going to see the difference that uses it, and it will eliminate having to bring in outside sound and AV for a lot of things, not everything, but for a lot of things. So we do have that. And our preferred provider program has just continued to elevate and be a very strong contributor to the revenue stream. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd like to understand why contract with Expo Center with us is with Wilson County Promotions is different from all the rest, or at least from most of them anyway. You don't negotiate that through the Expo Center, right?
Correct.
Right. And in their contracts, I know we had rate increases for all our other people that come in there and have shows, exhibits, whatever. And I think, we had large increases because we needed them, and I'm grateful for that. But in their contract, it says that they cannot be raised at any point in time more than 6.7%. So that means that they don't abide by the same guidelines of our new expense or our new charges that we're putting on the Expo Center. And so since they rent for the whole month of August, I think that needs to be lifted. We raised it considerably more for everybody else than 6.7. In fact, probably was real close to double on some of them, or at least 50%. So I just I know that's in their contract, and I'd just like to call on the mayor and the office here to renegotiate that contract, so that when they sign a contract, it's what everybody else has to sign.
So to that point, yes, they do have a limiter on their contract, and that contract has not been renegotiated for the next 3 years, to my knowledge. Let me check. No? Okay, yeah, so it's not done yet. So I can tell you that. That's all I know about that one. And I can tell you about the rate increase. It has proven to be very advantageous for us to have done that. It also has been received very positively from the marketplace perspective. Nobody's questioned it. Not one person has said, oh, well, wow, that seems expensive. They're not doing that. So it tells me we made the right move. It was a prudent move. We could probably go up a little bit more, but I would hesitate doing that right on the heels of doing it now. We're just now coming into, I wrote 6 contracts in the past 2 days, and all of them had to roll over to the new rates, and nobody has questioned it. So you can tell that the market is expecting it, and rightfully so. Those are the only 2 comments that I have on that based on what I know.
Right. Well, I would take the loss off of August and put it at the
It would certainly adjust it, yes, you're right.
Okay.
Any other questions for me?
Your motion to approve the report? All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Ms. Gill.
Thank you for your support of the Expo.
Report from Public Buildings Committee, Commissioner Weathers.
No report.
Ag Center Management, Commissioner Scruggs.
No report.
Animal Control, Commissioner Breeze.
No report.
Audit, Commissioner Glover.
No report.
Broadband Access, Commissioner Franklin.
No.
Development Tourism, Commissioner Brown.
No report.
Ethics, Commissioner Dow.
No report.
Finance, Commissioner Costley.
No report.
Health and Recreation, Commissioner Smith.
No report.
Insurance, Commissioner Kurtz.
No report.
Judicial, Commissioner Gentry.
Judicial Committee met tonight. The minutes will be in next month's package. Thank you.
Legislative Ad Hoc, Commissioner Costley.
No report.
Planning and Zoning, Commissioner Franklin.
No report.
Rules, Commissioner Keith.
No report.
Urban Type Facility Board, Commissioner Scruggs.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Finance Director's report, Mr. Aaron Maynard.
I gave a handout before the start of the meeting tonight, and I started not to address it since y'all have had so much fun, but I think we should probably go ahead. It won't take me but about 5 minutes per page, 32 pages, just kidding. So the first page is the General Debt Service Fund budget projections. Again, behind that, you have on page 3, you have the interest that's been earned for fiscal year June 2020 through June 2025. And then behind that, you have the amortization schedules, which is the principal and interest payments on all the debt issuances that are paid out of 151. Then when you get back to page 19, you have the same thing for the Rural Debt Service Fund, which is Fund 152, its sources and uses of funds, and then the amortization schedules that support it. And then Fund 121, which is the other fund that basically supports debt service, and I will explain these in brief. Why are we doing this? because I hear that basically some people look at this as the golden parachute, right? This is our way that basically we can fix all our problems. And there's one problem with that. Number one, I'm not going to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. But if I did, I would expect the chute to open. And in this case, I don't think it will. Okay, so when you look at the interest earned, this is minus, by the way, if you look on the second page, this is minus the 1.7 that we used of interest to fund the 2026 raise, and minus the 1.2 for this year that we're using for the Sheriff's Department raise. So that's it's 2.9 million, almost $3 million. So it's that 13.8 is net of those two things. Okay. And then you look down where I highlighted excess of revenues over expenditures on page 2. Notice you have $13,800,000 in interest earnings and an excess of revenues and expenditures of only $9 million. That means you're betting on $4.7 million, basically not for your fund balance to start to decline in interest income, in addition to the $2.9 million that you're counting on in the general fund. And I'm going to be coming back for another $1 million pretty soon for insurance, for property, casualty, work comp, whatever. So I just don't want everybody to look at the debt service fund as this is my fix. Okay? I'm not saying there's anything that we have to fix. This is not a golden parachute. That money is there for a reason. So what am I doing with that money? If you look at page 25. That is the West Wilson Middle School bond issue. Bobby, did I not give you one of these? No. I'm sorry. You look at 2025. Y'all give me just a minute to grab another one off my desk. Suppose for a minute that you could, next year, because if you look at the call date down at the bottom, I don't know if you'll see that or not in bold, call date 4/1/2027. That's the date at which you can call these bonds in. You can actually pay them off early. So suppose for a minute that you could scrounge up $49 million. That's a heck of a lot of money. And it wouldn't negatively impact your bond rating. And you could pay $49 million and save yourselves $16.8 million in interest. That's where I'm going with the interest income. That's solid. Okay, there's nothing that can go wrong in that plan. So, or in this case, rather than, you might not do that, because if you look at some of these coupon rates later on, they're 3.5, 3.6. What if we turned around and we had to borrow money at 6.5? Why would I want to pay down bonds at 3.5, and I'm going to have to pay 6.5% on something? We've got to build a school. So maybe instead of taking that $40 million and paying it on this bond, maybe I want to take it and pay it directly toward the construction price of another school. Again, it's solid, it's not speculative. So those are my plans, my thoughts of the kinds of things that we should do with these interest earnings while they last, because we don't know how long they're going to last. If you look at that schedule on page 3, it's crazy. $2020, $2.5 million in interest income. 21 and 22, almost non-existent. 23, I thought we were back in high cotton. We got to 6.2. 24, 14.6 million, and 25, 18.3 million. So I just need to point that stuff out so that we don't start looking over here as this is where I'm going to make my living, is in the debt service fund. So that's really all I want to say. So,
Mr. Maynard, also, as we look at that, a lot of the construction funds are in there are drawing some of that interest, and as they work their way down, there's no money there, because you had 2 schools on the list there that you well know of, that you added an $84 million judicial center that you're working on. So those 3 schools, 2 schools, and that is where a lot of your interest earnings come from, and as you build those and those funds go away, that's your interest rate going away. I know I have a couple of questions here. Commissioner Kurtz, I'll go with you first.
When FEMA or TEMA, whoever ends up with the money and drawing the interest before we actually get it, decides to release that money, where are those funds?
they will go back into Fund 152 where the bond was issued for the new West Wilson, where the additional debt was issued to finish West Wilson.
Okay.
Middle.
And we will come back to you with that money and ask you some questions probably on that as well, okay? Commissioner Breeze?
I was looking around, I wish Mr. Hackett was here, but I've had some conversations with him recently about CD rates. So he is bidding out CDs as much as he can every 6 months or so. And he's usually getting somewhere between 3.8 and 3.9% on 6-month CDs. So it's starting to decline as he's bidding this out, not by a lot, but we just need to be aware as to kind of that's what our CDs are drawing from an interest rate perspective, which will affect the amount of interest that we have sitting in these accounts.
Commissioner Franklin?
Yeah, this isn't big money, but it is some money. $1 million still worth something. And I don't know if you mentioned this at the Budget Committee because it was my 44th anniversary and I couldn't be there at the Thursday meetings. I'm sorry. But I got a boss too. Anyway, taking a $900,000 offline on stormwater. Have you talked about this commission?
I have not.
It is I mean, it's good news. I mean,
is.
It's something I hope our planning and codes enforcement could do as well. Could you summarize it better than me, what happened?
Well, in essence, the stormwater fees were raised. We did this. We suspended the stormwater reserve fund so that basically it's capped where it sits right now. And then I say we, I mean you guys. You guys then raised the stormwater fees to basically cover the cost of the stormwater budget, which is roughly $900,000. So basically, you added $900,000 to your bottom line.
Simpler.
The idea is because that's one of the roads. We're going to fix these roads.
Any other comments or questions? Got a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Report from the Budget Committee. Commissioner Marlowe.
Budget Committee met January the 8th. Minutes are in your packet. Move they be received and filed.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Resolutions. Commissioner Marlowe.
Resolution 26-1-2, classifying the public roads in Wilson County.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Second.
Resolution 26-1-3, amend the budget and appropriation resolution by approving Education Budget Amendment 26-07.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Gentry? Okay. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record.
23.
23-0, resolution passes.
Resolution 26-1-4, amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from highway public funds to capital outlay bridge construction.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 23-0, resolution passes. Any old business to come before the body tonight? Any new business? Motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.